Okay, so a lab class is something that's been on this campus for a while. Since we no longer have our blocked class schedule for ELA and math, we supplement and intervene with our lower scoring students in a reading lab and a math lab. So those are smaller classes. The instruction is targeted more towards skill set. And we're also working and kind of transitioning to accelerating those lab classes. So just kind of that shift in mindset where we've done a book study over learning in the fast lane. The leadership team has, and we're going to pull teachers into that book study next year. But the gist is that instead of going backwards and trying to fill in gaps, you're looking to the upcoming units and the upcoming assessments and prepping them based on those standards and skill sets that are coming up. And so we've seen a good change in that. We've also taken that method into our RTIs as well. And so with an RTI group, that's on a 2-week rotation. You get to see a little bit more immediate results of the idea of prepping for what's coming up. Lab still kind of is on that balance, prepping for what's coming up and still trying to fill the holes, but they have more time. You know, a lab class is every day and it's a standard class period.
So how do you align the instruction in the lab with the instruction with the initial instruction?
That is tricky. Our Achieve 3000 labs are not specifically aligned because they follow that program and they're really focused on specific feedback over comprehension skills and reading behaviors. Our other two ladies really communicate just when they can over lunches, over email, and their communication is really student-based. So anytime their conversations start, it's really about this specific student and these specific struggles, and then it branches from there. So it's not necessarily an alignment within the curriculum across the two classes. It's an alignment within the reading behaviors and skills needed for each individual student. My reading lab teachers are growing in their expertise in being able to confer with students, being able to know and to get reading levels quickly, so that everything they're doing is really on an individualized basis, more so than a whole class curriculum. And their class sizes are smaller, that allows them to target in that way.
Okay. How do you evaluate the effectiveness of what's happening in the lab class?
So that's where our lab class data dialogues are coming in this year. And that's
These are specific to?
These are specific to the reading lab and the math lab teachers.
These are a separate lab data dialogue using which data?
So they use, they will look at their student groups and the last assessment in their on-level class, but they'll look just at their student groups alone. They also pull in conference notes, and they also pull in reading levels for our reading lab classes.